doing this. Hello, Reject Nation. I'm Greg Alba. This is Kacey Spivey. I said your name for you. I hope that makes you happy.
That's okay.
You should go check out Kacey's channel. It's a worthwhile channel with awesome sketches on there right now. I'm subscribed. You should go check it out as soon as you can, or else she's never coming back on this channel.
What?
If you want her to come back on, you gotta go to her channel. That simple. It's a bargain I made with her.
Please do it. I want to come back.
Please do it. So a while ago, John and I did a video reaction to Bill Wurtz's video called History of the Entire World.
Whoa.
Which was a mind is the best way to put it. It is so hard to keep up with. Of course, this led to, you gotta check out the history of Japan.
Ah.
So here we are.
Checking out the
history of Japan. With that in mind, I wanted to give a shout out to a man who is a male, a male man.
A male man.
I want to give a shout out to a man named John Minnie. John Minnie lives all the way in Buffalo of the New York of the world, which is right near Japan, so this shout out totally fits. Last time we talked, I got to meet your wife over Google Hangout. She is one hot lady. Sounds like an amazing cook. You're a lucky guy. Make sure you impregnate her as soon as you can so she is always in your life no matter what happens. This is advice I give all women. Let's watch History of Japan. Is that what happens?
So good. Oh, wait.
There's a lot.
It's a lot?
Good luck.
Okay.
You don't know what you're in for.
Okay.
Japan is an island by the sea filled with volcanoes and it's beautiful. In the year -1 billion, Japan might not have been here. In the year -40,000, it was here, and you could walk to it, and some people walked to it.
Okay.
When it got warmer, some icebergs melted, it became an island, and now there's lots of trees, because it's warmer. So now there's people on the island, they're basically sort of hanging out in between the mountains, eating nuts off trees, and using the latest technology, like stones and bowls. Ding dong, it's the outside world, and they have technology from the future, like really good metal and crazy rice farms.
Nice.
Now you can make a lot of rice really, really quickly.
Okay.
That means if you own the farm, you own a lot of food, which is something everybody needs to survive. So that makes you king. Rice farming and rice kingdoms spread across the land.
I'm getting lost already.
The most important
I was
here,
keeping up with that.
here, and here. But this one was the most important. Ruled by a heavenly super person, or emperor for short. Knock knock, get the door. It's religion. The new prince wants everyone to try this hot new religion from Biekt. Please try this religion, he said. No, said everybody. Try it, he said. No, said everybody again, quieter this time. And so the religion was put into place, and all the rules were Then the government was taken over by another clique, and they made some reforms, like making the government govern more, and making the government more like China's government, which is a government that governs more. Hi, China, they said. Hi, dipshit, said China. Can you call us something else other than dipshit, said Japan. Like what, said China. How about sunrise, said Japan. And they stole China's alphabet and wrote a book about themselves. And then they made lots of poetry and art and another book about themselves. Then they stopped moving the capital every time the emperor died and kept it in one place for a while, right here. And they conquered the north, finally. Get that squared away. A rich hipster named Kukai is bored with modern Buddhism, visits China, and learns a better version, which is more spiritual. Comes back, reinvents the alphabet, and causes art and literature to be great for a long time. And the royal palace turned into such a dream world of art that they really didn't give a shit about running the country. So if you live outside the palace, how are you supposed to protect your shit from criminals? Hire a samurai. Everyone started hiring samurai. Rich, important people hired samurai. Poor people who could not afford to hire samurai did not hire samurai. The samurai became organized and powerful, more powerful than the government. So they made their own military government. Here, they let the emperor still be emperor, but the shogun is actually in control. Breaking news, the Mongols have invaded China.
We've invaded China,
said the Mongols.
Please respect us, or else we might invade you as well.
Okay, said Japan. So the Mongols came over, ready for war, and died in a tornado. But they tried again, and had a nice time fighting with the Japanese, but they died in a tornado. Then the emperor overthrows the shogunate. Then the shogunate overthrows him back and moves to Kyoto and makes a new shogun. And the emperor can still dress like an emperor if he wants, that's fine. Now there's more art, like painting with less colors, collaborative poetry, plays, monkey fun, tea parties, gardening, architecture, flowers. It's time for who's going to be the next shogun. Usually it's the shogun's kid, but the shogun doesn't have a kid. So he tries to get his brother to quit being a monk and be the next shogun. He says okay, but then the shogun has a kid. So now who's it going to be? Vote now on your phones. And everyone voted so hard that the palace caught on fire and burned down. The shogun actually didn't care. He was off somewhere doing poetry. And the whole country broke into pieces. Everyone is fighting with each other for local power, and it's anybody's game. Knock knock, it's Europe. No, they're not here to take over. They just want to sell some shit, like clocks, and guns, and Jesus. So that's cool, but everyone's still fighting each other for control, now with guns. And wouldn't it be nice to control the capital, which right now is puppets, with no one controlling them? This clan is ready to make a run for it, but first they have to trample this smaller clan, which is in the way. Surprise, the smaller clan wins, and the leader of that clan steals the idea of invading the capital and invades the capital, and it goes very well. He's about halfway through conquering Japan when someone who works for him kills him, and then someone else who works for him kills them, and that guy finishes conquering Japan. And then he confiscated everybody's swords, and made some rules. And now I'm going to invade Korea, and then hopefully China, he said, and failed, and also died. But before he died, he told these 5 guys to take care of his 5-year-old son until he's old enough to be the next ruler of Japan. And the 5 guys said, yeah, right, it's not going to be this kid, it's going to be one of us, because we're grown-ups. And it's probably going to be this guy, who happens to be way more rich and powerful than the others. A lot of people support him, but a lot of people support not supporting him. They have a fight, and he wins, and starts a new government, right here. And he still lets the emperor dress like an emperor, and have very nice things. But don't get confused, this is the new government, and they are very strict. So strict they close the country. No one can leave, and no one can come in. Except for the Dutch, if they're going to buy and sell shit, but they have to do it right here. Now that the entire country was not at war with itself, the population increased a lot. Business increased, schools were built, roads were built, everyone learned to read, books were published, there was poetry, plays, sexy times, puppet shows, and Dutch studies. People started to study European science from books they bought from the Dutch. We're talking geography, skeletons, physics, chemistry, astronomy, and maybe even electricity. Over time, the economic and cultural prosperity began to gradually slow down. Knock knock. It's the United States.
Oh!
With guns.
Oh!
Gunboats. Open the country. Stop having it be closed, said the United States. There was really nothing they could do, so they signed a contract that lets the United States, Britain, and Russia visit Japan anytime they want. Choshu and Satsuma hated this.
That was
sucks, they
anticlimactic.
said. This sucks. And with almost very little outside help, they overthrew the shogunate, and somehow made the emperor again, and moved him to Edo, which they renamed Eastern Capital. They made a new government, which was a lot more Western. They made a new constitution that was pretty Western, and a military that was pretty Western. And do you know what else is Western? That's right, it's conquering stuff. So what can we conquer? Korea. They conquer Korea, taking it from its previous owner, China, and then go a little bit further. And Russia rushes in out of nowhere and says, stop, no, you can't take that. We were going to build a railroad through here to try to get some more water. And Russia builds their railroad, supervised by a shit ton of soldiers. And then when the railroad was done, they downgrade it to a fuck ton. Did I say downgrade? I meant upgrade. And Japan says, can you maybe chill? And Russia says, how about maybe you chill? Japan is kind of scared of Russia. You'll never guess who's also kind of scared of Russia. Great Britain. So Japan and Great Britain make an alliance together so they can be a little less scared of Russia. Feeling confident, Japan goes to war against Russia, just for a moment, and then they both get tired and stop. It's time for World War I. The world is about to have a war, because it's the 1900s and weapons are getting crazy, and all these empires are excited to try them out on each other. Meanwhile, Japan has been enjoying conquering stuff and wants more. And the next thing on their list is this part of China and lots of tiny islands. All that stuff belongs to Germany, which just had war declared on by Britain because Britain was friends with Belgium, which was being trespassed by Germany in order to get to France to kick France's ass because France is friends with Russia. It was getting ready to kick Austria's ass because Austria was getting ready to kick Serbia's ass because someone from Serbia shot the leader of Austria's ass. Or actually shot him in the head. And Britain is currently friends with Japan, so you know what that means. Duh, Japan should take the islands, which they wanted to do anyway, so they called Britain on the telly to sort of let them know.
On the telly.
And then they did it. And they also helped Britain a little here and there with some errands and stuff. Now the war is over, and congratulations, Japan, you technically fought in the war, which means you get to sit at the negotiating table with the big dudes, where they decided who owns what. And yes, Japan gets to keep all that shit they stole from Germany. You also get to join the post-war mega alliance, the League of Nations, whose mission statement is to try not to take over the world. The Great Depression is bad, and Japan's economy is now crappy, but the military is doing just fine, and it invades Manchuria. And the League of Nations is like, no, don't do that. If you're in the League of Nations, you're not supposed to take over the world. And Japan said, how about I do anyway? And Japan invaded more and more and more and more of China, and was planning to invade the entire East.
You've got mail.
It's from Germany, the new leader of Germany. He has a cool mustache, and he's trying to take over the world and needs friends.
I know that face.
Forwarded to Italy. They all decided to be friends because they had so much in common.
What?
Germany is invading the neighbors. Then they invade the neighbors' neighbors. Then the neighbors' neighbors' neighbors, who happened to be Britons, said, holy shit. And the United States started helping Britain because they are good friends, and started not helping Japan because they're friends and our friends are not friends. Plus they're planning on invading the entire ocean. The United States is also working on a large, very huge bomb, bigger than any other bomb
Atom
ever.
bomb?
Just in case.
That's
but
what
they still
it
haven't
is.
joined the war.
Atomic
War looks bad on
It's
TV,
an atom
and the
bomb.
United States is really starting to care about their image. But then Japan spits on them in Hawaii and challenges them to war. And they say yes. And then Germany, as a symbol of friendship, declares war on the United States also. So the United States goes to war in Europe, and they help the gang chase Germany back into Germany, and they also start chasing Japan back into Japan. And they haven't used the bomb yet and are curious to see if it works, so they drop it on Japan.
No!
They shoot up too.
No!
We're a great country.
That's so
I'm so happy to
awful.
come from here.
That's so bad.
The United States installed a new government, inspired by the United States government, with just the right ingredients for a post-war economic miracle. And Japan starts making TVs, VCRs, automobiles, and camcorders as fast as they can, and also
Great.
better than everybody else. They get
Not
rich,
so
and the
bad. economy
economy goes wild, and then the miracle wears off. But everything's still pretty cool, I guess.
What?
How's your brain?
Ouch.
Try watching a 22-minute version of that about the world.
Ouch.
I had to lay down after the last one. Literally. It's too much information, John. That was not easy.
That was a lot.
Oh man, this was nothing compared to that one. I got some information here this time.
But last time it just was there.
I got an alright amount, I guess.
My brain hurts.
If I were to torture someone,
Right.
I would just lock them in a room and just have this audio playing over and over again. How some people will torture them with like, let's play the same song over and over again. I would choose this.
Bored of modern Buddhism, visits China and learns a better version, which is more spiritual. Comes back, reinvents the alphabet, and causes art and literature to be
And then before you know it, they know everything about Japan. Like, perfect. My
The
perfect
history
scene.
of Japan is quite interesting.
That's interesting.
And
Yeah.
I'm happy I know it now.
When I watched the history of the entire world, and there was so much I didn't know, so like to have to absorb a bunch of new information, it hurt my brain a
Right.
lot. This time around, I really picked up on how funny Bill Wurtz is. He knows this. That's what's gonna. He knows there's gonna be people like you and I who are like,
What?
what the hell is going on?
Too much.
Who,
Too much
who can
information.
absorb this? Like his sarcasm in here, like how
good.
he brushes over, just so, like he keeps the quippy,
Like the tornadoes. and
yeah,
stuff,
like yeah, the tornado bit, or like
So they drop it on Japan. They actually drop two.
yeah,
Right,
like
right.
something that is just so fast paced. He makes in such a hilarious format
Yeah.
with like such snappy editing.
He has good timing. Good comedic timing.
Yeah, that's what we got from your history of Japan video. Your comedy.
Yeah, but, like it was easier to digest than just like reading it off a
Oh, yeah.
book or Wikipedia or something.
There's a lot of visual aid in here, so much to help
There's a
accompany
lot.
that.
I feel like I could pass a test.
Now with this, what did you learn? Let's do that. Let's see what you learn. What'd you learn?
Well, I probably couldn't tell you any of the names of anything or anyone,
Uh-huh.
but I could tell you about how
Uh-huh.
well they were like they were emperors, and then there were samurais, and then the samurais overtook the emperor.
I'm right there with you. What I got from this was a reminder that when you introduce religion, everything goes wrong.
Oh yeah, they brought Jesus and guns, which
Did they
tend to
bring
go
you-
together, I guess.
I wish they covered anime, because
Yeah.
anime is big. I mean, they kind of did, I think.
Yeah, they got to modern day and they went, okay, cool, bye.
Yeah. But I'm like,
what?
modern day's the one part I could absorb easily. Yeah.
Oh no, what's going on now? It's also all neon, and you're like,
That's the hard part about keeping up with this. Is his editing is superb. His editing
Yeah.
is so awesome. There's so many colors in your face that you're trying to absorb all the images as well. And then once you lock in on a piece of information, you got to move on to the very next
Next one.
thing. Like in order to absorb this, you got to like turn off your mind.
Yeah.
Our whole commentary is about how we had a hard time
Our whole-
absorbing was.
our whole commentary is, wait, what?
I don't know if we learned anything about Japan except for some words.
just happened?
Yeah. This is Americans listening to a history
Like,
video.
What? There were key points where I was like, I know about that part, and then a lot of it was like,
What? I mean, I would like him to do more videos like this. If he could
yeah.
do like history of the Philippines, that'd be cool. Of all the
Yeah.
countries, that would be awesome if he keeps going. And maybe he has, and I just don't know. But I would like more of these.
I would like more of them.
Because I feel like watching them on repeat, I would be quite a smart cookie.
Yeah, you'd be a knowledgeable one.
I will be the one.
Yes.
You'd be old and wise by the time you.
If I
finish
was able
rolling
to figure, I probably would have benefited from just taking a class instead of trying to absorb all this.
Well, he should do like the history of cinema and the history of.
Oh yeah, see that I could pick up on really
Yeah.
quick. What I love about this video specifically,
A real wise.
seeing
talk.
how Japan did start off so small, then it became this blossoming thing, and leading up to like a historical moment with America when there was the invasion and all that, and then the bombings, the atom bombs. Somehow that led to them becoming like the technological masters for a long period of time too.
True.
Which is such a fascinating part of history. And my dad, he loved Japan. My dad lived in Japan for like a whole year or something like that. He was a
Cool.
teacher. So I feel like he was still alive, he would have really appreciated this
This
video.
video.
Unlike me, he's having a hard time absorbing everything.
I liked the part where what was it, a hurricane or a volcano or something that covered. So it said so it was like the peninsula was out, and then there was like a hurricane or something, and then it covered it, so it made it an island.
You know, I would try to find the
Right?
visual aid and put it on the video, but it's good. I don't know what part she's talking about.
Yeah, it's at the beginning. The first thing, look. Japan, I hear. Okay. Land bridge.
Why do you like
And
it?
then, the icebergs melted. And then it became an island. I just think it's fascinating because when you think of islands, it's always like, well, how did people get there? Did they come by boat or land? No, they were already there, and then they got reined in.
Then after that 20 seconds, the piece of
Then after
learning
that-
just checked out.
I was like, oh, interesting. Done.
This is why you come here, so we can make actual analysis of the work people do.
Analysis?
Yeah.
We're making analysis.
Analysis of what's being done.
There's two analysis is going to be happening. So there's analysis.
I think we've earned a subscription. This is why some reaction channels get crap, because you can't comment on some stuff. You guys can subscribe to the Reject Nation. Just check out Casey's channel. It's a great sketch comedy channel, and just go do that instead. It's much more worth your time. Trust me.
I thought we did good.
Yeah, sure.